Melbourne Tullamarine International Airport, the airport serving Australia's largest city by population. Directly behind me is Terminal 4, where all Jetstar, Link Airways and Rex flights depart from. Today, I will be flying with Jetstar on an Airbus A321neo, bound for Tasmania. It seems like every time I fly out of Melbourne, my video tends to begin on the top of the car park at Terminal 4, mainly due to the fantastic plane spotting areas, but also for its easily recognisable location and proximity to the Jetstar gates. Having arrived here in Melbourne after flying in on Air New Zealand, I didn't spend much time here, spending most of my time hanging out with one of my subscribers, namely Callum from Fergie's Aviation, who I will talk about more later. Jetstar, if you are not already aware, is Qantas's low-cost subsidiary, meaning it was created not only as a cheaper way to fly, but also as a direct competitor to Virgin Blue, now Virgin Australia. Here at Melbourne Tullamarine Airport, Jetstar operates solely out of Terminal 2 for its international flights, and Terminal 4 for its domestic flights, which is also home to Link Airways and Regional Express. This afternoon's flight was departing off-peak, which is why the check-in area was not that busy. All of the check-in kiosks are autonomous and are fantastic to use, being very simple and easy to follow. One key thing about these kiosks is that the boarding passes printed are high quality, which is another reason why I'm so fond of them. As is typical for Australian domestic flights, a boarding pass is not required to pass through the security checkpoint, which is handy for those that simply want to see their loved ones off at the gate. The security checkpoint is located upstairs, directly above the check-in area. Getting there is fairly straightforward. All you have to do is head up the escalators with the distinct yellow panels surrounding them. Generally speaking, the security wait time is about 10 minutes. However, given that I was passing at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, it was more busy than I was hoping it would be. This terminal has seen many different airlines during its nearly 20-year history, including Virgin Blue, Impulse, Tiger Air, Air North, Alliance Airlines, and most recently Bonza. Once released from the security checkpoint, you will find yourself in the massive food court. However, checking the Flight Radar 24 app, I quickly realized my inbound aircraft was arriving, so I made my way to the nearest window to capture its arrival. Taxiing off runway 16 is the aircraft flying me south to Hobart today, which is a stock standard Airbus A321neo, registered as Victor Hotel Oscar Foxtrot Papa. Construction for this airframe was completed at the Airbus final assembly line in Toulouse, France, being delivered brand new to Jetstar in December of 2022, making this aircraft 2 years old at the time of filming. Terminal 4 has a very European-style layout, with the departure gates not being shown on the information boards until around 40 minutes before pushback. This is a common tactic to keep passengers in the food court where they spend the majority of their money. Jetstar domestic flights, generally speaking, depart using gates 41 to 52 at this terminal. However, in some cases, they use the international terminal, particularly for their larger 787s when they're being used on the more demanding domestic routes. For today's flight, we shall be departing out of Gate 52, the furthest possible gate from the security checkpoint. Boarding this afternoon commenced late, and I was never really told the reason as to why this was. However, I suspect this was due to the slightly delayed arrival of the previous service. Jetstar has only one configuration for their Airbus A321neos, with 232 economy class seats in a 3-3 layout. I honestly don't know anything about seat types, but according to Google, Jetstar uses the Recaro BL37010 seat, which is a popular choice among the low-cost carriers. Today I shall be seated in 9 Alpha on the port side of the aircraft. Jetstar has opted for a tight 29 inches of pitch and a standard 18 inches of width. The tray table folds down at the flick of a latch and extends towards you. The contents of the seat pocket include that of a buy on board menu, stock standard safety card, an entertainment system information card, and an air sickness bag. There is a single Type-C USB port as well as a device holder which has rubber ribs and a cup holder. There is also a trio of reading lights, personal air vents, and 2 flight attendant call buttons for each row on each side of the aircraft.
Hello again. We want you to have a safe and enjoyable flight, so please listen closely while we take you through the safety requirements for our Airbus A321neo. Your crew, your carry-on baggage.
Following the commencement of the safety briefing, we pushed back off gate 52, 36 minutes behind our scheduled departure time.
Is uprightly to start a supply of oxygen. Quickly put it over your mouth and nose and breathe normally. Keep the mask in place.
We taxied to runway 16 via Sierra, Juliet, Alpha and Echo.
Lines for takeoff if you wish to continue reading.
Now please enjoy this unedited takeoff, and a special thanks to Callum from Fergie's Aviation up at the Terminal 4 car park, who filmed my departure. Once airborne, we flew south over the western suburbs of Melbourne, setting up a near due south course for Hobart. Flight time this afternoon is 57 minutes, covering a distance of 412 freedom units, or 663 kilometers, cruising at 35,000 feet. Sitting on the port side of the aircraft when flying to anywhere in Tasmania, especially after departing runway 16, offers absolutely fantastic views over Melbourne's northern, central, eastern and southeastern suburbs, as well as the CBD and even Melbourne's other airports, such as Moorabbin and Essendon. No joke, for the first 10 minutes after takeoff, I completely ignored what was happening on board and focused on the stunning scenery below. Jetstar has recently, and by recently I mean in the last 12 months, introduced an entertainment system on board, which they like to call Jetstar Entertainment Plus, because the plus adds extra value, which I kinda decided not to purchase on this flight, simply because of the length of it. However, from a quick glance, there seems to be a fairly decent selection of different films and TV shows to watch. There is also a moving map feature, which despite being fairly poor, was decent enough to keep an eye on our position during the flight. Once the seatbelt sign was extinguished, the cabin crew sprung into action, commencing the in-flight service, which started with prepaid meals, followed by everyone else. Today, I had a $10 meal voucher at my disposal, which got me a can of drink and some chips. The menu provides a different variety of flavours, and in today's case, I chose a can of Solo and sour cream and onion Pringles, both of which were cold and crisp. On board the aircraft are 3 lavatories, one located at the forward end of the cabin behind the cockpit and 2 at the rear. The forward bathroom is fairly standard for this aircraft type, including that of the Qantas signature branded hand soap, the only clue that this airline belongs to Qantas. Just prior to descent, in the distance, was the second largest city on the island of Tasmania, that being the riverside city of Launceston. Soon we commenced our descent into Hobart. The Greater Hobart region has 3 airports serving the city. The one that you are all familiar with is the main international airport, followed by Cambridge Aerodrome and the lesser-known seaplane base. Today we shall be flying into the main international airport, which was expected. Despite being the first time I have ever flown into Hobart Airport, this is not my first time flying in the airspace down here. My first ever PIC flight, or pilot in command flight, took place down here at the nearby Cambridge Aerodrome. As I have never properly stated this in the past, Hobart is where my family comes from, specifically my ancestors, who were among the first colonisers of the nearby Port Arthur. As such, the arrival today was a rather special one for me. Now please enjoy this unedited landing. After landing, we taxied back to the main terminal via Charlie, Alpha and Foxtrot. We pulled in onto stand 6, 32 minutes behind our scheduled arrival time. Stepping off the aircraft, I made my way inside the terminal building with immense haste, as my next flight would be departing in less than 90 minutes. Jetstar Airways. Some people love them, others would rather be put in a can of sardines, and some would say that they're the same thing. I, for one, have never really had any sort of issues with Jetstar, apart from one cancellation in Japan and a plethora of short 15-minute delays. However, I have experienced these kinds of situations on other airlines before, so it is unfair to harshly critique Jetstar when this could happen on any airline in any part of the world, which in my own opinion is where Jetstar's harsh reputation comes from. I must say, however, despite being a budget carrier and having slightly less legroom than that of its parent company Qantas, I think Jetstar in some aspects is better than Qantas. There is a better selection of food in economy and cheaper prices, and honestly a cleaner experience. The last time I flew with Qantas, the plane was absolutely filthy and not very well maintained. As to how this will compare when Qantas's long-awaited A321XLRs hit Aussie soil, only time will tell. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, comment and subscribe. Make sure to check out the other videos that I have on my YouTube channel. And also, I now have a Discord server. Feel free to join. The link is at the top of the description. And don't forget to ring that notification bell if you enjoy my content. And if you would like to see more, I post my videos every Friday at 8 PM Sydney time. And I hope to see you again in the next one. See you later!